At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we use a combination of the latest in rehabilitation technology along with one-on-one manual therapy techniques.
We have 7 locations to serve you. 3 in Baton Rouge, Denham Springs, Prairieville, Gonzales, and Bruley.
You can join.
Key Point Federal Credit Union serves the entire community throughout a 4-parish area, pointing the way to financial success.
You can join.
Benefit from lower loan rates, higher deposit rates, and loan rebates from a full-service lending institution.
You can join.
Enjoy the convenience of savings, ATMs, internet banking, and bill payer services. Members are key. Service is the point.
Key Point Federal Credit Union. You can join.
If you're looking for the gear you need in the colors you bleed, then make your first stop Co-op. Much more than just a bookstore, Co-op has the largest selection of LSU merchandise for the whole family, including tailgating supplies, LSU clothing and accessories, great gifts, and a whole lot more. Stop in or order online for the best prices on art supplies, school supplies, and textbooks. The Co-op Bookstore, where you'll always find the gear you need in the colors you bleed.
At Gulf Coast Office Products, we're at pace with the future, offering leading technology and multifunctional office equipment. Whether it's copying, printing, scanning, or faxing, you'll receive the best in quality right here locally.
We needed to move documents between our office, the insurance company, and our customers. Gulf Coast Office Products provided us with that technology.
From full-color imaging equipment to document imaging software for storage and retrieval, we're leading the way. Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions.
At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we use a combination of the latest in rehabilitation technology along with one-on-one manual therapy techniques.
We have 7 locations to serve you. 3 in Baton Rouge, Denham Springs, Prairieville, Gonzales, and Bruley.
Welcome to Louisiana Football TV Magazine. I beat the billboard. The billboard is supposed to come up. I think it's going to come up pretty soon, but we have a billboard coming up. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do a live plug. I think this is for Southern Belle Sandwiches, catering our show tonight. We appreciate what they do for high school kids, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to feed all our guests tonight. They do a wonderful job feeding the people on our show every week. Southern Belle Catering here in Baton Rouge. Be sure to look them up on Lobdell Avenue here in Baton Rouge. But I want to go ahead and go to the phone lines. On line 2, we have Ali. Ali, do you have a question for Lee or Randall Gay?
Yes, sir. I just want to give a quick shout-out to Big John Stone and Coach Nettles. They just gave us a great season this year, and I think I speak for the whole school when I say we are very proud of them. We had never had something like that happen to Denham, and we just enjoyed it.
Well, that's good. That's a great plug. Randall, once upon a time, I mean, you were in high school, Bruley. I mean, before you and Norman, it was really not many wins, right? I mean, not just you and Norman, you know, the team that you had at the time, but what was it like for you in high school?
Oh, I loved high school. I tell kids all the time I wish I can go back because that was the best football of my life. That's when I had the most fun, you know. Now it's my job, so the fun kind of leaves out because you got to take it so serious. But in high school, you're enjoying yourself. You're just having fun. You're with people you've grown up with your whole life, and you're out there trying to win football games. And I loved it.
Now, let me tell you this, and I've seen this, and get your opinion of it. Saints fans, NFL travel's got to be tough for parents, for grown-ups, I mean, in their 30s, 40s, and 50s to go on a Sunday to a Tuesday every week to a away game, right?
Yeah.
But the fans for the Saints travel.
Oh, yeah.
They travel in force. They travel like an LSU, like a Florida Gators. I mean.
But that's Southern football. They love football down here, and they support us. And that's the hardest part about me being home is every time I go somewhere in a store, I always have to talk about Saints football. And that, you know, in New England, I didn't have that problem. But now every time I walk in the store,
they all know you.
It's, man, what are we going to do next year? All this, and I'm like, can we please not talk about football right now? I want to talk about something else.
Now, Drew was on earlier with John Simon, trying to help John in recruiting. What was it like for you at Brady Perry? Brady was your head coach, a good friend of mine, and was the head coach then for you?
Well, when you think about it, Coach Perry is the reason why I went to LSU because, LSU wasn't recruiting. Coach DeNardo wasn't recruiting me. So I was on my trip, a recruiting trip to Alabama, And I was in the room homesick, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I was about to commit. And I really thought about it that I didn't want to leave. And Coach Perry called the hotel room and said, do not commit. LSU wants to talk to you. And, hey, I came home and said, I am a Tiger.
And it was this close.
Yeah, I was this close. I was about to go to a meeting the next day and say, I'm coming to Alabama.
And the coach at that time in Alabama?
Whoa. I
was
forgot
it was after Stallings, or was it Stallings?
It wasn't Stallings.
Shula.
It was
maybe Shula.
Who was between that?
Oh, DeBose.
That must be
Mike
who it
DeBose.
is.
Yeah. You were homesick.
I have no idea because I didn't go. My coach was Coach Saban.
Coach Saban. And do you get a chance to talk to Nick still after all these years? Have you talked to Nick at all?
Last time I talked to him was at Marquise Hill's funeral.
Okay.
Rest in peace. I talked to him. I got on him a little bit about his decision to go to Alabama, and he broke it down to me that he really wished he could have still been here, but once he left, it was.
Well, that's a tragedy. Your former teammate, Marquise Hill, the late Marquise Hill, Patriot teammate.
Yes.
That was probably one of the saddest days of.
That was tough because it's like we had off-season workouts and we're talking to each other. I just remember like last day we clowning and see him and I'm like, all right, I'll see you next week when we come back, because we were coming home for the Memorial Day weekend, and I flew here. He flew to New Orleans, and I get a call in the middle of the night that he's missing. He fell in the lake and they can't find him, and it's just so tough because you got to go back to New England the next day.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be there. So it was tough, but you wish his family and his son well.
And I want to mention this. He was a jokester. But Dwayne Bowe, you said, is even another jokester, right? Tell that story you told me about Bowe in the game this year.
Oh, Bowe
Kansas City Chiefs.
Bowe is ridiculous because, I go out there. We go to practice that weekend. They're like, when it's just two receivers out there, you're going to be on Bowe. And I'm like, oh, I know how it's going to be this whole game. First play of the game, I go follow him. He's just smiling. So I'm like, all right, maybe he's doing this because it's the first play of the game. Every play that I was lined up in there, he's just smiling. I'm like, what are you laughing for? What's so funny? He's just smiling. I'm like, man, he's still the same.
He backs it up sometimes, though.
Yeah, he back it up. I wasn't going to let him back it up on me, though.
How many catches a day? 1, 0?
Well, on me, he had 4 catches for like 30-something
And he'd
yards.
average 9 catches a game, right?
Whenever I wasn't covering him, he scored a touchdown every time.
See?
So. But I wouldn't let him do it to me.
It didn't make you look bad in the game.
No, because I was a senior when he was a freshman, so I felt like I couldn't let him do that to me.
One final thought. Anything to say to recruits coming up today in Baton Rouge or Lafayette or anybody that's watching? Any advice to the kids and parents?
Just believe that you can do it. Like Simon earlier, he just wants the opportunity. He has to keep that mindset that, hey, just give me an opportunity and I'll show you what I can do, because that's why I'm still in. I played in the NFL 5 years when I wasn't supposed to play. 1. So if you think you can do it, you can do it.
And we've got a couple more questions. One is your favorite game that you remember in high school. I know you had some big rivalry games with Redemptorists and some other people, but is there a game or games that stand out?
I liked all of them.
All of them.
High school was exciting. It was fun.
Pro, anything that's besides the Super Bowls, any?
Oh, nothing can match that Super Bowl victory. Just being out there, being a part of it, being a starter in the Super Bowl as an undrafted free agent. That was great.
Ryan Clark, another former LSU Tiger, undrafted, starting defensive back for the Steelers, 7 years now. Another undrafted guy. Made a great hit, which, I'm glad McGahee's okay now, but knocked Willis McGahee out of the game.
I know.
And
yeah,
I remember talking with Hank Turney, his high school coach, back when he played at Archbishop Shaw, and he said, Ryan will go 1 AA, maybe D1 with a good senior season. He goes to LSU late, signed like you very late, becomes all SEC, worked hard, 5'11", 200 pounds now. He's one of the best DBs